All right, getting started with Onshape. When you first sign in, you are going to see a window that looks just like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to Create and Document. And you're going to want to give this document a name. Make it your last name, and then whatever part you're working on. So let's say L block. And that's going to bring you into this space here. Now, the thing to know is that this is a 3D space. And so you have to start to look at it in a different way than you were looking at AutoCAD. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to give yourself a 2D space to begin your drawing. And so it might be helpful to pick the front orientation. Now, what this is a plane. And this is where you're going to start creating your sketches. So when you want to draw something, you have to first sketch it. And that is going to open up this block here. And you're going to notice that all of your tools are grayed out. And this is in red. And the reason why is because it's asking you for something in this blue box. It's asking you for the sketch plane. So let's sketch the front sketch plane here just to get started. Now that you have that, you have an opportunity to check. If you check, what that means is that you are happy with the way things are and you have closed out that sketch. We're not happy yet because we haven't drawn anything. So let's begin to make some drawings. So the thing about Onshape that is different than AutoCAD is that you can make all of your changes afterwards. So let's say I draw a basic shape there. Now you'll notice that I did not put any dimensions in the way that I was doing for AutoCAD. And that's because I can go back in later and I can dimension them afterwards. So this is my dimension tool here. And dimensions in Onshape, when you're in the sketch mode, they don't record what you have written. They allow you to change what you have. So let's make this 2 inches. So I just click this line and I told it to make it 2 inches. Let's click this one. Let's make this one 2 inches as well. Let's make this 1 inch. Let's make this 1 inch. And then what do we do about this? Well, what we can do is we can dimension from one edge to the other edge. We can make that 6 inches. So we do not know the dimension necessarily of this line or this line, but we don't need to know that right now because we have all of our other dimensioning done. One thing to know about the way dimensioning works in Onshape sketches is that they provide anchors. So now if I tried to make this 6 inches, you'll notice that it is telling me that it cannot resolve this shape. That's because I'm trying to tell it to be 6 inches from here to here, but I'm also telling it to be 6 inches from here to here. And those are 2 different lengths. So if that happens to you, you have to check your dimensions again. And sometimes what it means is that you just have to delete one of your dimensions, provided everything else is okay. Once you have your sketch laid out the way you want it to, you can click check, and you'll notice that all the dimensioning goes away. That's because they are not the dimensions on your final drawing. Those are just there to help you create your sketch. So if we take a look, we notice that we do not have a 3D shape. We only have a 2D shape. So we have to give it some 3 dimensions. And the way that we do that is by extruding. So this is our extrusion tool. So we'll click that, and you'll notice that a similar dialog box has come up. You'll notice that it is red. And the reason why is because it's asking you for something here in the blue. So what it's asking you is for, where do you want to extrude? Well, I want to extrude this face. There are some other options that are up here. We're not going to worry about those just yet. And when we get into later classes, we'll deal with those. Just know for now that you want to be in new or maybe add, but new for now. How much do you want to extrude? The width of your piece. So I hit check, and now we have our shape. And it is 3 inches thick or 3 inches deep. So now that we have this shape and now that we have extruded it, what we want to do is we want to create a drawing of this that you can submit as a PDF. So you are going to come down here to the plus sign where it says Insert New Tab, and you are going to create a drawing. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure that you are picking the right template. So if you are in Onshape, you want to pick whatever is the first one, ANSI, inch, because that's where we're working. We're working in inches. And then we can click OK. Okay, it'll bring us to this space here. And what we need to do is we need to insert what we're looking for, our view from our sketch before. We want to make sure that we have the right scale. We're looking at 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 2. Let's see how 1 to 2 looks. We're going to click Insert, and it's going to bring us here. We're going to click on our piece, and it is going to give us the front view of our piece. We can then move over. We'll click once. We'll move over. We'll click again. Then we'll move up. And then we'll create our isometric view. So this is our three-dimensional view, and it is called the isometric view. Once we have our last view down, we want to hit Escape, and we can just select our tools and move them around as we need to. Now you're going to notice that there are no hidden lines here and there are no dimensions here, even though we put dimensions on in our sketch. So we have to add those now. The way we're going to add our hidden lines is that we're going to right-click on our piece, Show and Hide, Show Hidden Lines. And you'll notice that add the hidden line there. We'll do the same thing here. And now what we have to do is we have to add our dimensions. So this is our dimensioning tool here. And what we are going to do is we are going to add our dimensions here. That's 1, that's 1, that's 2, that's 2. And then this is 6. So dimensioning here works very similar to the way dimensioning in AutoCAD worked. And then we'll put our last dimension here. Okay. So you'll notice that we have 3 decimal places here. We don't need 3 decimal places. We can come over to the wrench, to drawing properties. We can find precision, and we can change that to 2 decimal places. And that's sufficient. We can click the wrench again and make that disappear. And the last thing we have to do is we just have to add our information here. So we can call this L block, or whatever it is that you need to call it. You'll notice that down here, it has our scale. That was the scale that we chose. And the last thing that you need to know is which view is which here. So on all of your example drawings, this is going to be your front view. So if you are starting your sketch with this face, you want to make sure that it is on the front plane. There are going to be some that we're going to do that we are going to start on this face. And so you're going to want to make sure that you start on the right plane. If you do not put your face on the right plane, then it is not going to come into the drawing the right way. So make sure that you are doing that. Last thing you need to do is you need to export this as a PDF. So you'll right-click the tab down here. You go to Export, and you'll go to PDF. Give it a name. Again, make it your last name. And then L block, or whatever is the tool, the shape that you're working with. And then what it is going to do is that it is going to download. So you can just click the download. You can click the folder, and there it is in your downloads folder. You can upload to the classroom from there.